Hello and welcome to Toku Trivia Time, your one-stop place for tidbits, factoids, and behind-the-scenes did-you-knows for all your favorite tokusatsu. For our debut episode, we'll be looking at one of the pioneers of Toku, a show that some might say have started it all. No, not Ultraman. We're looking at the show that preceded it, Ultra Q, as well as the many follow-ups it had over the years. With that being said, it's trivia time. Ultra Q went through many revisions before it became the weird little show it is today. One such idea was called Whoo, which featured a bug-eyed alien who lands on Earth, befriends a news reporter, hides from armed forces wanting to experiment on him, and fights off monsters that threaten Earth. In 2006, Tsuburaya would take this unused concept and turn it into its own show, now titled Bioplanet Whoo. Tsuburaya eventually settled on a horror anthology series in the vein of The Twilight Zone or The Outer Limits, which was to be called Unbalanced. However, the name was changed to Ultra Q, following the word ultra becoming popular in Japan after a gold medalist gymnast used a technique known as the Ultra C, a Japanese metaphor that boils down to meaning 110%. The Unbalanced name would be revisited in 1972, with a proper horror anthology series titled Horror Theater Unbalanced. Due to Eiji Tsuburaya's close relationship with Toho, a number of props and costumes from the Godzilla films found their way into Ultra Q, most notably the first kaiju featured in the show, Gomez, who was a modified Godzilla suit that was used for Godzilla vs. Mothra, while Lithra was a modified flying Rodan prop from Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. Other notable instances of prop recycling include the giant monkey Goro being the King Kong costume from King Kong vs. Godzilla, but with a tail added, Pagos being an altered Baragon, and the Kai Dragon being a recycled Manda. Despite Ultra Q hosting a number of kaiju, this wasn't Eiji Tsuburaya's main intention. Tsuburaya wanted the focus to be on the humans that were investigating the strange occurrences happening around Japan. But the channel that was set to air Ultra Q, the Tokyo Broadcast System, or TBS for short, insisted that the kaiju take center stage due to the likes of Godzilla and Gamera being popular with children. This thinking would ultimately pave the way for future Toku to follow. It should be no surprise that Ultra Q was an immediate hit with the audiences, as they had never seen movie-budgeted special effects on television before. That being said, it may come as a shock to many that it was unceremoniously dropped by TBS to make room for Ultraman. This put a strain on Tsuburaya as Ultraman was forced to be aired in color by TBS, which ballooned the costs tremendously, almost double that of Ultra Q. In fact, Ultra Q's final episode didn't see a televised airing until December of 1966, months after Ultraman began broadcasting. In 1967, CBS had acquired the rights from Tsuburaya to produce an English dub of Ultra Q, in an attempt at replicating their success with The Twilight Zone, which had just ended 3 years prior. Despite Tsuburaya providing CBS with translated scripts, English credits, and a custom opening swirling title card, CBS ultimately backed out of licensing the show, despite the fact that all 28 episodes were fully dubbed. Untitled Artists ultimately picked up the show, along with the rights to dub Ultraman. In the end, Ultra Q's dub would go unaired, due to the show being in black and white, and most shows in the US were transitioning over to color. Speaking of which, there have been many efforts over the years to colorize Ultra Q, most of which weren't successful. On April 1st, 2009, Tsuburaya released the episode Garadama on Nico Nico Doga in full color, initially meant to be a one-off test for colorizing the show, as well as during the April Fool's Day occasion. The large viewership for the episode and demand for more made Tsuburaya announce a fully fledged colorized release of Ultra Q later that year. The colorized Ultra Q finally released in 2011. Despite the loose connections to the rest of the Ultra franchise, Ultra Q saw a couple of follow-ups over the year. Ultra Q the Movie, Legend of the Stars, a 1990 film adaptation, The Ultra Q Club, a 2003 radio drama that reunited most of the original cast, and Ultra Q, Dark Fantasy, a remake/deconstruction of the original series that presents Ultra Q as an in-universe show. The most recent iteration of Ultra Q came in 2013, called Neo Ultra Q. Presented as a second season of the original series, Neo Ultra Q had a more comedic tone than either Ultra Q or Dark Fantasy, though that also didn't stop it from getting violent at times. And finally, just what does the Q in Ultra Q mean anyway? The answer is question. That's all for today, but don't forget to subscribe for more Dream Bomb goodness. Hey every pony, Dream Bomb Coast here. I'm really excited for this first episode of Toku Trivia Time, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. This did take a bit more time than previous videos, so I just hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you. I'm gonna go get myself a pizza.